All right, so we took this boat out the other day, and I noticed two things. One, the power, it was low on power to get up on plane. Now, we did have 4 people on it, which is the most we've had before, but it seems strange. Now, that alone wouldn't make me suspect that the fuel pump might be going bad, but what I noticed once we got up on plane and we're going, you know, full throttle, I could only get about 4,000 RPM, which is lower than normal. And so I was starting to think maybe the carbs aren't working right, but I went back as we were running. I had someone else driving the boat. I went back and primed it as it was going, and I noticed before I primed it, it was, you know, threatening to cut out a little bit, like it was down on, it was like sputtering. But when I primed it, not only did that go away, but power started to come back. The RPMs were increasing as I was slowly priming the bulb on the fuel line. So I did some looking online, and I have no idea how old this fuel pump is. As far as I know, it may be the original. You gotta zoom in on it. Maybe someone with more experience can identify something in particular about the fuel pump. But, you know, I see that it has a zip tie here, and this particular fuel pump looks like it only has the fuel in. Underneath here is a screen, so it has a fuel in, and then it looks like only one connect. Some of these have 2, but only one, I assume, vacuum connector. Well, I guess that must be the connector to feed the carburetor then. So I guess this must be getting vacuum from the block. So anyway, 30 bucks was very reasonable for a new seal kit to rebuild this fuel pump. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start by trying to take off without totally destroying the fuel line here. The feed line. I'm gonna go get a pick. You can stop that for a second. Just trying to break the seal here so I can. Okay, it's not working. So I'm gonna go to plan B, which is gonna be, okay, look, so I'm seeing something that tells me that this fuel pump was messed with before. So these are all flat screws, but I see one Phillips over here. That's interesting. So at some point in this thing's life, I would assume this is not an original, but at some point between 1995, this is a 95 motor, to today, someone's been in here. So the question is the diaphragm worn? Was there ethanol fuel run through here at some point? What might be causing this fuel pump to weakly deliver fuel? Because the thing is, when it was idling and, you know, at lower non-wide open throttle, that's a smaller one, it would run fine, or seem to run fine. Obviously, the issue may be air in the lines, but I decided to start here because it seemed easiest, other than replacing this quick connect fitting down here, which I'm also going to do. And cheap, because like I said, it was genuine replacement parts from Evinrude. I got on eBay, came in the genuine packaging and all of that. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one connected because I think I'm doing this wrong. I'm gonna leave this one connected because I think this is what's actually, these short ones, now that I'm actually removing it, I believe these short ones, yeah, I'm looking at the back side. So these short ones, at least these 3, help sandwich it together. I'm sure the back 2 obviously as well, but it looks like these back 2 is what actually holds the pump to the block, is what I'm getting at. So I need to get this Phillips head out now. 2 different sizes. Alright, so this thing should just come right off. And it did. One thing to note is in the back here, it's all hard and stiff. I don't know if it's supposed to be. It's the old seal. just got it off. It fell down the bottom. If you can see in here, it was the seal that was up against the block here. So from what I understand, the engine vacuum sucks in through this hole here, and that's what actually causes the diaphragm to move and to pump. Okay, you can pause it for a second. Trying to work with these old lines. Don't want to replace the lines unless I have to. So I'm trying to get them off. All right, there's one. All right, beautiful, perfect. So here's the pump. So now if I take that last short screw out, actually I'm going to start with taking this top screen off first. This should be the last filter screen before it actually hits the pump, and then the carbs. Looks nice and clean. Don't see anything jammed up there. Since I've owned the boat, I've run ethanol free through here, so has that been the case before I've owned it? I guess we'll find out, because if ethanol has been used and, oh, there's one more screw. If ethanol has been used and left, I think we'd see a lot of corrosion in here. All right, here we go. Honestly, it doesn't look that bad. The diaphragm does look pretty worn though. Let's pull that diaphragm off. Eh. Seems okay. I mean, that's, from what I understand, that's how the fuel gets pumped. It's through these two little diaphragms moving. And you can see that they're, you know, clearly used, but looking at the internals here, it doesn't seem corroded, so this should be pretty easy. I'll go inside now and we'll replace all this stuff, minus the springs. So here's the pump. I'm going to start with, I took this other section off, which was, I'm already forgetting where it was. Okay, so this membrane went like that. Sat on top of here. I took the bottom part of this off to expose that. I think that's actually one of the, yes. All right, well, I'm going to start by cleaning up the sealing surfaces here. Use some brake clean and give the metal a once. Floss my camera girl, so I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I put a little 2-stroke oil on each of these. And I should just go right in.
hopefully. Starting to. I'm gonna need 2 hands. Okay, there's one. And the other one looks like it goes this way. All right. That side looks good. Quick, and then lay this one like that. All right, here's my plan. So I got it kind of together using my little scraper tool. It just so happens to fit. Oh, don't do that. Grab that. Grab that. As I was saying, fits the little metal plunger in there. I'll take this, place it on top. All right, so as I was saying, on this side, looks like the diaphragm lines up like so. But because of this spring and little cap, that's a new cap that came in the kit, by the way. As far as I can tell, I'm only using a few of the pieces in this kit, in this rebuild kit. That cap being one of them, this pink seal, this diaphragm. These are the old seals, but I got two new ones over here. So 2 new seals, and then this for the block. So it looks like these 2 I won't be needing for this pump. Anyway, so because of the spring and the cap here, the diaphragm sits like that, and I can't really get it in. So the plan is to depress this, hold it gingerly from the back, and then I'll be able to lay the diaphragm flat onto the top. That's the plan anyway. Well, wish I could have recorded more of it, but that's basically it. A couple seals in the diaphragm, and I think we're back in business, maybe. And then there's just this. So that's the list of all the old parts. 2 O-rings, diaphragm, gasket, and this thing. These other 2 weren't needed. So I have it back together, and it's ready to go on the boat. So let's go do that. It's running. I replaced this, and then just bolted that back in and got the lines connected back up. It started up pretty easy. That might be it. I won't know until I take it out on the water.